created from ash, embedded in embers of love, clothed in mother's nature, armored by father's wisdom. Behold, a son is born. Then he grows, nourished by the food of their ancestors. He toils the soil as man. He listens and observes the teaching from his father. He follows the protocols expected of him. Father, you taught him well. Manna is seen in the harvest of men. It shall return to the woman that begot him. In her nature, she wraps her children with virtues of character, molds them to be legacies of the future, teaches them to be better versions of themselves. Behold, the children are ready. My name is Vyasi Lawaka. I am 20 years old. I hail from the village of Nathamaki Koro in the Lomaiviti group, and I have maternal links to Nambukilehura Kambariki in Kandavo. I got introduced into dance because I was running away from school, just attending like those normal dance competitions that they had in high school. So I ended up being part of one, and I was playing around with it to a point where we actually performed on a national competition.
Morris High School, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Morris High School!
Dance is a world where you're continuously learning new things.
For me, in school, I'm always that behind the scenes kind of person, always wanted to let others do things while I just sit back in the audience or something like that. So when I heard about Pula, I just had a thought, you know what, maybe it's just about time I try something new or something out of my comfort zone.
Everyone was like looking forward to it, but then for most of the boys like myself, like we play rugby and stuff, so we look down on dancing. So like in school, it's like dancing is like for girls and stuff.
Oh wow, Jonathan, I've always wanted to go to a Pacific island. Oh, I'm so excited. Oh!
High school 2019 when I joined the Kula dance squad for that year. So basically when I started going for practice and stuff, it was just basically for stepping class.
Where I am today is through them, what they've taught me and what I've learned. I'm grateful to Rako Pacifica, to Letila, Samuela Tokave, John Tokave, Aren, and Emily. Those were my first teachers that taught me, and also Sefarano that also taught me. They taught me how to do island dancing, and from there I was able to learn and be inspired to do more. And then from then on, I felt like I needed more technical training, and then I was introduced to the Oceania Dance Theatre. But Miss Catalina took me in, which I'm grateful of.
I think with Vyasi, I see him as like a son to me. I tell him everything because from the first moment I saw him, he was like a hard worker, very hardworking kid, and I knew he loved dance.
So it's been a good journey for those 4 companies. Well, one of the challenges I faced was the fact that in a society such as Fiji, we are stereotyped as the fact that men don't normally dance. But it's sad to say because we do dance. Like every villages have their own clan dance or their own tribal dance, and for the fact that this culture has been lost, it's a sad thing because now we are more we are clustering our mind to thinking that dance is a form of modern way of living, I think. But what they fail to see is that that culture was already there in their own families, in their own birth, in their own societies. And the fact that none of their parents or maybe their grandparents sort of passed that knowledge, they feel like they don't have to do it. And they sort of like clustered themselves, so, oh yeah, boys, we don't dance. It's because it wasn't passed to us, nor did our father dance, our grandfather dance, so why should we learn it? Not only women should do it because it's a more softer thing to do. In the sense of culture, it should be incorporated because dance could be a curriculum or a platform whereby children can go back to their roots and learn their culture, sit with their elders, hear the stories of their myths or their villages, who we are, why we Pacific Islanders are unique, and that authenticity is one thing that no one could take away from us.
Clans around Fiji, they have their own Donibutu, and it is inherited from the forefathers. So once they get into, if they are along that lineage, they inherit that the way in which they're going to the songs and all. You cannot rely again on any other person, because other people in the clan, they have their share of things to do for the chief.
I think because we're still in a very conservative society, whereby everything still goes in the old traditional methods of things, but we're slowly changing. We're slowly educating people with it. That's why not most boys would actually go into dancing, is because society has a different expectations of them. They sort of have to be like that, oh, you're a man, you need to be the breadwinner of the family, you need to provide, and you can only provide if you have a sustainable job, and dancing is not going to give you that. So some of them do not identify themselves as a dancer. Being a dancer is hard is because they don't see the hard work and the struggles you go through to get there. All they see is a piece that is put on stage with lights and like, wow, and it's like a round of applause, like, wow, that's a nice performance. They don't actually see the amount of nights where you write up things, where you come up with a concept on what issue you're advocating on, what other issues you're going to address for that performance. They don't see the amount of time you work with the dancers and the amount of energy it takes to actually compile and come up with choreography and coming up with the right music to best suit that production. Yes, and not many see the steps of things. They just see the end result, like the whole performance. Like, oh yeah, there's a performance, yay. So I feel like somehow people choose the easy things in life rather than the hard things because it makes things easier for them. I am grateful that I have a supreme God that looks after me whenever people even close to me or even people that I trust could probably, turn their back on me. I'm glad that I have a God that doesn't abandon me. I dance because it's a form of prayer for me. It enables me to connect with my mind, with things around me, helping me making decisions. It helps me connect with my body and my spirit. in terms of being one and peace with everything. And also it enables me to help people connect in such a way that I could help them, whether the message that is portrayed through dance. And yeah, it's a way of me giving back to God by using that talent.